Namaste everyone. My name is Parveen Sharma. I'm an educator at Wisdom World School, Kurukshetra, India. Today, in this international conference of virtual reality, I feel so happy and delighted as well as privileged to present my observations and deliberations on linguistic simulations in virtual reality to enhance communication skills. When I talk about communication skills, I am being reminded of the very first day when I started teaching and learning in the classrooms. The students, they expect us to give them a sense of understanding about a particular language, particularly English, which is a foreign language for this part of the world. So how virtual reality, the modern advancement, the AI and AR and all other things which are coming as advanced technologies, how they can bring a change, how these things can be leveraged and utilized by all of us. Today's presentation is all about that. I shall be introducing you to a few of the platforms that I have been using, and we all have these things available to all of us. So here we are with linguistic simulations in VR to enhance communication skills. The world we live in is a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, as well as ambiguous. We have so many things to understand about this world. And when we are going to teach or we are going to learn or we talk about any advancement in terms of education as well as its integration with technology, we need to see that we are fighting or we are talking about a very tough world, the world which is a 21st century world. And for every citizen of the world, be it you and I, or be it our audience or the students or our respected scholars and mentors, we all know that there are four skills of this life. All the life skills are being summed up into these four 21st century skills. The first one named is communication, in which we teach and we learn and we try to understand and enhance as well listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These four skills are the fundamental communication skills for every citizen of the world, for every human being who's there in the classrooms and beyond. Now, after communication, experts have listed collaboration as the other skill for 21st century learners. We have got collaboration, followed by creativity, which is not just about thinking out of the box. There's no box at all in this third decade of the 21st century. Then we talk about critical thinking, which is problem solving, rationality, reasoning, everything. So we talk about communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. When all these things are there, dear friends, communication, which is LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, that's the key. And our life shall feel the crucial role of communication skills, because we know that when we can make sense, when we can impress upon others what exactly our idea is, we can actually gain so much of weightage. But remember one thing: technology must empower communication skills. Communication skills cannot follow technology. Technology is supposed to empower it, but how English or any other language that we all speak, how that can become one of our skills rather than just becoming a subject? I'm going to learn with you. I shall unlearn and I shall relearn as well. These three things are the fundamental currents of learning in this 21st century. Now, the very first thing, as we talked about, communication. How communication is important to you and me. I know listening, which is about thoughtful hearing, speaking, which is about articulating in a proper way what you wish to speak. And then reading means decoding the script of a particular language. And then we talk about writing. Writing means you try to write a script. So listening and speaking, they happen when we participate well in interactions. And that's what I shall be insisting on. That's what this presentation is going to insist on, how we can enhance participation. Now, Elvin Toffler, one of the favorite authors to all of us, so he said that we can begin our battle to prevent future shock at the most personal level. So that most personal level is something virtual reality is, AI is, AR is. So the technology that we all are using is being used at the most personal level. We are not at a public level of using technology. So a few limitations, dear friends, to insist on why virtual reality, digital learning should be coming into language learning and communication skills in English. Why? The first limitation is authenticity and the plague thing. There's a duplicity of material. I can't check. Some hard copies are there, so I can't check whether the content is authentic or not. Because if it is digital, it is possible for me to run some softwares and then check out whether the material is already there or not. Then I've got the context. So when I'm talking about printed material, it cannot give me a large context. I don't know where exactly that particular story exists. And customization, dear friends, is also one thing which is not in the printed material. It goes the same to everyone. Immersion and accessibility, these two are the excellent, I can say, the features of the non-printed learning, which is the VR or the digital learning these days. Immersive reading, as you all know, that's quite supportive, and that is happening, which is a talk of the town in the technology world now. So relevance, the content which is not printed can be converted into relevant content also. Yes, printed materials are good, but they do have a limitation. The limitation is sometimes they are not able to bring practical application of it, because the books might become obsolete the very next day when they are printed. So the opportunities that virtual reality can leverage in linguistic simulation. Now, what is linguistic simulation? Let me provide this thing. When I'm talking about machine learning or I'm talking about gamification, simulation is when I'm trying to enact something. Maybe I'm going to bring some artificial environment, but that environment is not here for STEM. That is here for language learning, particularly I'm saying communicative competence of it. So English is a foreign language for most of the world. For you and me, many of us learn English as our second language. We do have our native languages. Now, virtual reality can present cultural nuances of a language use. So VR is going to be the very first and excellent supplement to textbook learning if we wish to keep the textbooks with us. Now, retention amount and levels improve significantly when someone uses VR. You make me see things rather than making me read them, or you make me listen things, so that retention improves. And think of when you make me participate in it, you engage me in it through the virtual reality system. And there's a promise here, promising in the future, because if VR is being used in communication skills and teaching of English and other languages, it can change the way we teach. It will no more be a one-way traffic. It will not be that the teacher is dictating things on the whiteboard. It will be something that everyone is involved in it. Now, this is the concept. This is the affirmation. Tell me, I forget. Show me, I remember. And involve me, I understand. So virtual reality, dear friends, is going to come up in communication skills and in the teaching of English and other languages. If we bring it, it is going to bring ease of learning. You are going to agree to it, and it will also bring the teaching of communication skills at par with the trending demands of the industry as well. Because if you're teaching me a particular skill in the same way as it is required to be implemented, people are going to appreciate it. My employability is going to be enhanced. And engagement, the ease of teaching will also be supplemented and empowered by the learner-centered assessments. Expands the classroom beyond the walls and the worlds. You can go to space and you can learn the same subject. So the worlds, there's no limit when virtual reality is there. You can be anywhere. It can be any moment, and it can be any subject as well. You can learn it. And there are benefits of this VR, our sims, the simulations, and augmented reality as well. What are the benefits? It increases students' autonomy and motivation. They feel free. Some liberty comes, participation comes. It removes the linear model in which it only flows from the height to the lower level of learners. The anxiety levels are reduced, be it the entertainment segment, be it the involvement or persuasion, or it is about the simulations. Anxiety comes down. And team building, which is one of the primary life skills, it also comes up. The cooperation, the collaboration skills, they also come. We can inculcate these things when virtual reality is used, because all the students will be together in creating the scripts, interacting and talking and making conversations and decoding the whole chapter or the concept. It allows students to experiment with new vocabulary and structures. Why? How this happens? Because when you have given it a corpus or a stock of words, the simulations or the VR that we have used, you are telling them what to do. And if someone has reached a particular level, they can easily improve upon, or they can easily enter the new segment of learning, so they can experiment freely. It gives students the freedom to make their own choices and decisions, be it learning or assessment or what course they wish to take. Through VR, anyone can learn any other subject as well, be it from some other discipline of the learning. it gives the students, I have done it, so I can do it confident. Because when I'm doing these simulations in games, I'm doing it. So that confidence comes that without someone helping me, actually, I'm able to do it myself through that animated behavior of a particular machine or a software. It gives a confidence that I did it. Now, it dismantles the teacher dominated learning and instruction. So the teacher is no more a teacher, or even if the teacher is there, the role is a facilitator. Now it's no more a ringmaster. But there are certain drawbacks of using VR or simulations or AR into teaching of communication skills, which are the warning signs. We can keep them in mind. Students can still go to faulty pronunciations, vocabulary, and grammar, because if there's no check, or the material which is provided in VR is of poor quality, or there's no quality check on it, it might leave teachers feeling ineffective or excluded, that they're no more part of teaching and the students are learning just through the simulations or the VR. It will allow students to misunderstand and misuse new vocabulary and structures, because in the absence of an actual teacher who relates things to the context, it might go that way. So the VR has to be that subtle. Already effective speakers take advantage. So someone who's skilled enough to use technology might take advantage. It requires preparation as well of the content and everything, the planning and the designing, the storyboards, and so many things are required to be made. It requires more time for implementation, maybe, planning, the stage of preparation, adaptation in the classroom. It might allow the less motivated students to stay away from the teaching process, so they may try to withdraw from participation. They may. Now it depends on the content that we prepare and propose learning to them. And what are the solutions? Please ensure you create things in the virtual reality for the interest of the students, and of course it is relevant. You work on the observations that come from them. You take feedback from them on a regular basis, and update the contents or the virtual reality thing on the real time basis as well. You integrate communication skills, language learning simulations with other subjects also. Someone learning English, communication skills should also be able to see the same kind of learning in mathematics and sciences also. One more thing which is required to be highlighted here: you should construct groups containing mixed or differentiated levels of ability depending on their students' needs, to create some constructive feedback mechanism. Now, Verbala is there. You can see some movement on the screen. This is a workplace. This is an event place. So you can just use them, and then you can land there as your own avatar will be there. And then you can see people dancing, celebrating, just going through the boat and playing and everything. So Verbala is a virtual world. Such things can be created at the institutional level as well. Now, Duolingo, the list of the languages, as you can see, so you can learn all these languages through Duolingo. It talks to you. Chatbots are there. So such things which are part of the AI, which are part of the VR, must be enhanced in their usage. Elsa, ELSA. Now that's a very nice thing. Elsaspeak.com is the website. You can improve English. You can talk to them, and then this artificial intelligence technology is in need of some enhancement. When I'm talking about Verbala and I'm introducing you to Elsa as well, or Duolingo, when linguistic simulation is being proposed, we are looking at an integration of all these technologies, the chatbots coming to the simulation or the VR in the Verbala as well. So the chatbots coming live, and then you're interacting with it. So such things are there. As you talk to Google, you talk to Siri, or you talk to Alexa as well. So these things are there. AI coach, which is only audio based, should come up as visuals in Verbala segment as well. So linguistic simulation will have some kind of strength. Now this FluentU is also there. The same way we use Duolingo, we can use this one also. So these things I've just talked about. Let me bring you to the usage of virtual reality, the linguistic simulation in the teaching of English communication skills in any language of the world. Role play, dear friends, is the very first thing that shall create magical improvements in the learning of your students and my students. Role play in the virtual reality world. You'll find so many videos on YouTube, many products are coming up. So there's a need at the institutional and the local level also that we design customized and localized virtual reality role plays. So this is what I was there to propose and present to all of you for your observations. Linguistic simulations must be enhanced, must be brought at the local level at every institution, be it the K-12 or the higher education or the research areas, through virtual reality to enhance communication skills, because communication is the key. Thank you.